lost everything, but the shepherd sought and found his sheep and drew me to him. I'm reunited with Jesus. I'm a child of the King.
That's the voice of the man, Earl Dinzedale Hanley. And today we are gathered here. My name is Ren. I'm along with some of his friends to pay tribute to him and to reflect on his life and to reflect on all the things that he's done for us, the things that he's done with us, what he meant to us, and of course, things that he's left with us.
When I met Dinzey, we were like kids. I think we would have concluded that he was the least likely to succeed. In music, I tell you why. At that time in Nevis, there were not many left-handed guitarists. I mean, you just didn't have someone who can teach you how to play left-handed music. I mean, guitar in a left-handed way, right? Dinzey was left-handed. That was not a hindrance. He overcame that in a way that left me in awe.
I recently learned that Dinzey learned to play the piano in Jessop's at a lady, her name is Mrs. Hyacinth Byron. I also learned that the same lady, Mrs. Byron, taught Dinzey typing as well. He registered to write the typing exams with Miss Nellie Bridgewater, and he passed the exam.
Yes, indeed.
He even substituted for Mrs. Byron as a typist at Lawyer Byron's office when she was on vacation some time ago. So I think the learning to play the piano went quite a long way in helping to lay the foundation, to lay the platform for Dinzey his musical career as a guitarist.
It's funny that, you know, whenever we are together and you make a compliment or you say something to Hanley or you say, or you question like, well, how you get that do? He say, boy, me can't play. Boy, me can't play.
He had a very humble spirit.
very
humble
extremely
spirit.
humble.
He had a gift from God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he showed that, irrespective of what was actually happening. I understand that Dinzey went to St. Kitts to accompany Dean and some function he had down there just to provide support.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows the type of man we are talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he didn't leave people to wonder about the place. If he just being there made a difference, Dinzey was going to be there.
If I can do my duty as a Christian, Lord, if I can bring God's beauty to a world abroad, if I can spread God's message, not my master God, oh, then my living shall not be in vain. My living shall not be in vain.
I think everybody who passed through Dinzey's hands, as it were, can attest to that fact. Dinzey, he loved music. He loved to play with people. He encouraged others. Mm-hmm. And I think my situation now, today, is as a result of this other encouragement I personally got from Dinzey. Because from the 70s to now, Dinzey and I had a very, very good bond. We were almost like brothers.
At a very early age, I desired to play guitar. And Hanley, he would come down by our area and he would play his guitar, sing, and eventually I decided I want to do that too. He started giving me some lessons in playing the guitar.
I was introduced to Earl way back in the early 70s by a cousin of mine, Isaac Hendrickson, and I then became an integral part of Country Brothers, which you were part of a member also. One of the things that I admire in Earl at a young age was his spiritualism towards Christianity, and he always thought of rearranging songs. And you know how it is with Earl. If it's not arranged correctly, you got to go over it 2 or 3 times. But I did enjoy that part of the band. I remember those days when we actually played until 2 and 3 in the morning, and I had to get back to work at 8 o'clock.
Oh, yes.
I was telling somebody that I remember us practicing one line of a song until 1 o'clock in the morning.
Right, 1 or 2 in the morning.
One line
right.
of a song.
Especially when it comes around Christmas or Easter.
You have to be perfect when it comes
Yeah,
to music.
he was a perfectionist.
Yeah.
He was a perfectionist. Because of him, I started learning to play the drums, and then I became a part of the band. Before I actually migrated overseas.
Nice of you to weighing on this and remember the days we've shared with Dinzy. I mean, I have lost a brother, a very good friend.
Very good friend, man. Very good friend. He was one that you can speak to in confidence.
Yes.
You can depend on him also.
Of course, of course. Well, all we have are memories, and we have to make sure that those memories last, and we have to continue the good work that you started.
That's correct.
And
That's correct.
hope that we find others we could pass the baton to, so that they can take it and run the race that we've started.
Well, let me say on behalf of my family, both overseas and at home, I would like to extend our condolences to the Hanley's family. And again, thank you guys for being a part of that Country Brothers, which I enjoyed, and I still reminisce a lot over those days. And may God bless all of you. And hopefully I'll see some of you someday soon.
Here, good afternoon, Pastor.
Well, good afternoon to you, Ranford, and to your esteemed panel, whose voices and names I recognize very easily. Dan Powell, Alistair Dorr, and the other guys.
James Pemberton, Curtly Morton, Melville Pemberton.
Yeah, I have very fond memories, of course, of playing with those men in the same band, of being taught by Sam at school, and of course playing with Dinzy Hanley, a wonderful guy.
Don't forget Sam taught you in the band too. Don't think he taught you in school alone. He taught you in the band too.
Yes, indeed. But I'm calling basically to say that I am really shocked and saddened at the loss of Dinzy Hanley, and I couldn't miss this opportunity to call back in and really extend to his family, to Georgette, and all those who really miss him, extend our condolences on his behalf.
I think the track that we have lined up to play with Hanley singing, it may be you who's drumming.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, well, that's good. I mean, I was very privileged to play in the same band with Dinzy Hanley. I mean, my first recollections of Dinzy was as a little boy, of course, I being a little boy, and listening to those guys practice. I think their first practice site, if I'm not mistaken, was in a little house in Morningstar around the corner. And I used to steal away from home at night to go down there and just to listen to these guys and to listen to Hanley play that lead guitar.
See if you recognize this.
Okay, I'm listening.
You live for Jesus. It's my desire.
Yes, I certainly do.
Is that your drumming there?
I believe it was me.
That's a long time ago.
I believe it was me indeed. Nevis has really lost a very illustrious guy. Hanley meant a lot to me. He was somebody that I could really look up to as a mentor. I was very impressed with his spiritual depth. You know, he was somebody that was very easygoing and really just loved to share his heart. And I was privileged to know him for the short while that I did, and privileged to be a part of the same band that he was. May his family and all his friends be comforted in his passing.
Dr. Charles, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon to all the people in the studio and all the people that would know this voice in Jessups and Cotton Ground and Barnesgate.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
And Gingerland, etc.
Yeah.
Earl was a fabulous person, a real gem of a Christian person.
Yep.
Very, very kind-hearted and very dedicated in serving the Lord. And Earl opened his heart and his hands and everything to me as a young person growing up in the church and being a part of the Country Brothers. And we enjoy those times together. Somebody said that he was a perfectionist, but I think I can attest to that. We really spend some time in getting our acts together as it relates to our Easter programs and Christmas programs, etc. And we enjoy ourselves together. And he contributed a lot to our own development and our own growth. I know he has gone on to his home in heaven, and he has made a solid contribution to gospel music and generally to life in Nevis. He will be dearly missed by all of us. We're grateful for his contribution.